everybody. I hope that you're staying safe during your break, but I know that it can get boring. So today we are going to do a science experiment to try something new, and hopefully it'll be fun and educational too. So we are going to be making a layered rainbow in a glass today using Skittles, which I just had sitting around in my house, but if you don't have them, I think this would work with any other similarly colored candies. So we are going to get started. So first we're going to open up the Skittle packets, and essentially we are sorting them out right now. Okay, perfect. Alright, so now we have 6 different piles, and I realized that my Skittles had glue in them as well, so I'm just going to add another glass container to my lineup of 5 that I had going. And while we're talking about the things that we have out, I have 1 clear largish glass, 6 smaller little, anything works really, but 6 small cups, and I have some very warm water here that I just boiled and let cool down a little bit. But if you want to do this, you can take a mug, put water in it, and microwave it for 1.5 minutes. And make sure that you are careful when you take it out of the microwave. So if you know that you shouldn't be doing that, please ask your mom to do it or your dad to do it for you. Okay, so we're back, and I have all of my colors sorted out. So now we are going to decide how many of each Skittle we are going to put in each jar. So if you guys have ever done the science experiment where you have the oil and the water and the rubbing alcohol all in different colors and you layer them to make a rainbow in a jar that way, this is a little bit similar to that because we are going to use the densities of our different waters to make them layer. So to do that, we're going to put different numbers of Skittles into each color, and the ones that have less Skittles are going to be less dense because there's going to be less dissolved sugar in them. So deciding how to choose how many Skittles you want to put into each glass should be simple if you have an unlimited amount of Skittles. But unfortunately, our Skittle stash maxed out at 4 small packets, so this is what I'm working with. So I know that I want the least number of red Skittles, so I'm just going to put 2 down here. And we're going to work up from that. So 2, this is going to be a 3. We're going to go 5 for yellow. Let's do 7 for green. That's 7, yes. Let's do 9 for blue and 11 for purple. So that way we know that this is going to have the most dissolved sugar in it, so it'll be the most dense. And the red is going to have the least dissolved sugar in it, so it will be the least dense. But if you have an unlimited number of Skittles, it wouldn't be a bad idea to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Alright guys, so we're going to put the corresponding Skittles into each of our little containers. You can literally use whatever you have. We just happen to have a lot of these little ones, so I decided to capitalize on the opportunity to use them. But essentially we are just adding them in. Alright, so that's in there. And next we're going to add 2 tablespoons of hot water to each of them, right? But you want to make sure that you're being very careful and ask your parents please before you do this. And if they say that they want to do it for you, let them. Alright, so 2 tablespoons in each of them. Alright, so that's done. And now we are just going to try to get these Skittles to dissolve. And one way to help that is to mix it up. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And you can see that initially a lot of the color comes right off the Skittles, but then it just takes a while for the actual sugary sucrosey part to dissolve. So I'm just going to go down the line and try to stir it up a little bit. And just remember that when you're doing this, there's a chance that you might mix some of the colors, but as long as there isn't a lot of pigment on your fork, you should be okay. And you also might notice that as you get to the water with more Skittles in it, you can see a more concentrated color, and that's because you added more pigment to it by adding more Skittles. And so last one. Alright, so I'm just going to let these sit for a little bit, and we're just going to let all the Skittles dissolve. And every few minutes I might come by and mix on each. So I'll see you when they're all dissolved. Alright guys, so our Skittles are about 90% dissolved, and I am going to say that it's good enough for me. So we are going to finally construct our rainbow now. So I also like to note that they're all back to room temperature, so this would not be great to do if your water was still warm. So if you have a pipette and you can do this drop by drop, that would be magnificent. But I seem to have misplaced mine within the last hour or so, so we're gonna take a gamble and try this without a pipette. But to, let's try this. What?
Do this like.
So the strategy that we're using
the first
right
one
now,
you can just pour it in. It can't go in.
Yeah, that's true. It's okay. We're practicing the strategy. So we're just going to let it go down the side, and that's gonna let us kind of take the impact a little bit. So the next one, we're gonna be very careful and a very slow and steady stream down the side of it. Is that working? Let's hope. Maybe I'm just gonna drop it in. Alright, that kind of worked. You can see a little bit of blue.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, great. 10 out of 10. Alright.
You want to wait for a little bit?
Yeah, so, you know, that's fine. Try a different strategy. Maybe if we can break the impact by pouring it really slowly over this. I don't think this is working.
Why don't you put a spoon over it?
I tried that. Okay,
That's working.
well, yeah. Yellow is next.
Do it closer to the cup.
Okay, good point. No. Is that gonna work? I feel like that's just gonna send it straight down. Okay, okay. I like that idea. Oh my god. Maybe I'm gonna need to try another size experiment.
Commit, you already wasted Skittles.
I've already,
Why did you think you would be able to do that?
I don't know. Maybe my pipette would have helped me out.
Here's the thing.
Alright guys, so, you know, this may not have worked at all, but now we know that it doesn't work. So, we learned something here today.
Not everything works in life.
Yep. And that if you have a pipette, please use it. The first experiment was less than ideal, but that's part of the scientific method. Sometimes we try things and they don't work, and we can learn from them and try again. So next time, maybe if I did that, I would try to find a pipette and maybe go drop by drop to see if I can get the layers to stay consistent. Or maybe if we cool the water down, it'll have less of a tendency to mix together. So that's something to try for next time. But today, we're gonna try another experiment to see if we can have some better luck. And this experiment is to make a lava lamp. So, what you need for this is some juice water of a different color and oil. So, traditionally, this is made with water and food coloring, but we do not have food coloring at our house, and given that we are social distancing, it doesn't make sense to go out and get some. So I'm going to use pomegranate juice as a combined water and food coloring. So, with my pomegranate juice, I am going to add it to my mason jar and get it to fill about 1/4 of the way. About that much. And in the rest of the mason jar, we're going to fill it up with some vegetable oil. So we didn't really get to see too much density in the last one, but in this one, you can see that almost immediately all of the pomegranate juice has flowed to the bottom, which shows us something about the density of both of them. All right, so at this point, you can see that it's fairly separate, right? Both of them are separate. But now we are going to add some Alka-Seltzer, and we will see what happens. So we don't want a crazy amount in here, maybe 1/6 of a tablet. And I'm gonna add that to the mixture, and we're gonna see the creation of bubbles as this happens, right? So can you zoom in on the container? Here, I think I'm gonna add a little bit more to this as well. All right, so as that gets going, we're gonna see bubbles of the pomegranate juice floating upwards. So at this point, we're starting to get a little lava lamp going. I'm gonna cap it off because I don't wanna add anything to it right now. But you can see that there is a plethora of bubbles moving up and down. And I'm gonna try something. So we're gonna
What
turn
does
the lights
plethora
off.
mean?
A lot of. Sorry. And can I see your phone? Please.
No.
Please. Thank you. We're gonna try a little bit of dramatic lighting. Does that make any difference whatsoever?
Oh yeah, it's like fire in there.
Wow, how exciting. So that's a little bit of a lava lamp for you. And I'm curious to see how this would work with just water and food coloring, because I have a sense that the densities of them are a little different. So
Ashka, lift the phone up a little bit there. Perfect.
So that's exciting and pretty easy to try at home. But also, again, make sure that your parents have no problem with you using oil and whatever colored liquid you choose to use. Yeah, so that's fun and exciting, and it kind of worked better than our last experiment.